Hello friends, welcome back to C4 Beginners. In the previous lecture, we have seen about programming and its importance, history and importance of C language, and how to use dev C++ and its installation steps. Today in this session, we are going to discuss about variables, data types and operators used by C language. What is a variable? Variable is the name given to the memory location of data. Let us consider a box. In a box, we can store things like pens, pencils, or even food items, etc. Here, pens and food items are the data which keeps on changing, whereas a box is a memory location where data is stored. Variable is the name given to the box. While selecting a name for a variable, we can't select just a random name. There are certain rules for giving a variable name. The first and foremost rule is that the variable name can be only a alphanumeric character, that is, it can be formed by alphabets A to Z, either capital or small, or numerics from 0 to 9, and a special character underscore is allowed. The second rule is blank spaces or commas and special characters except underscore are not allowed. The third rule is that the variable name should start with a alphabet or a underscore, but not with a number or any other character. The last rule is that we should not use a predefined word by C language like if, while, for, etc. So these words are known as reserved words. This is in brief about variables. Let's move on to data types. Data types define the space occupied by the variable and its type. There are 4 data types which C language uses mostly. They are char, represent character, int, float and double. So the storage allocation for these data types are shown in the tabular column. Char occupies 1 byte of data, whereas the size of int is dependent on compiler used and word size of the machine. For example, dev C++ and GNU GCC, which is used in Linux, refers int as 4 bytes and Turbo C3 refers int as 2 bytes. The float and double are referred as 4 bytes and 8 bytes respectively. Apart from these, we can add data types according to our requirement, and those are known as user defined data types. Let's move on to operators. Operators are the symbols used to indicate arithmetic and logical operations. They help us to solve real-time problems using a mathematical solution. Few operators used by C language are arithmetic operators, relational operators, logical operators, bitwise and assignment operators. Let us discuss about them in brief. Arithmetic operators are used for mathematical operations like addition, multiplication, division, modulo division, increment and decrement. The difference between division and modulo division is division gives the result as quotient, whereas modulo division gives the result as remainder. Increment and decrement are used to increase the values by one time. These are helpful when we are using loops. Coming to relational operators. The relational operators are used to define the relation between two numbers. The double equal to checks the value present in both the variables is same or not. For example, if I use a double equal to b, it checks if the value of a is equal to b or not. If the value of a is equal to b, then the output will be 1, or else it would be a 0. Similarly, not equal to, greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, and less than or equal to. So all these operators represents the relation between two variables. Logical operators. The logical operators are used to verify the logical operations. Some of the logical operators are logical AND, logical OR and logical NOT. For example, if I say a statement A double AND statement B, it means that the result will be 1 only if statement A and statement B are true. If I am using a logical OR operator, two pipe symbols there, so if any one of the statement A or B is true, then the result will be 1. Moving on to bitwise operators, they perform bitwise arithmetic operations. In bitwise operations, we convert the data into bits and perform the operations like AND, OR, XOR, ones complement, which is nothing but the reverse of the value present, and left shift and right shift. Left shift means moving the data towards the left side by 1 bit, and right shift indicates movement of the data towards the right side by 1 bit. Last but not the least, assignment operators are used to assign the values to the variables. For example, if I want to assign a value of B to A, then I say A single equal to B. Similarly, A plus equal to B means A is equal to A plus B, followed by the same way for minus equal to, multiplication equal to, divided by equal to, and modulo equals to. This is in brief about operators. Let's see about the structure of C program. Any C program will start with the inclusion of the header files. The general header file that we use is stdio.h. The syntax to include the header file is #include within the braces header file name. So the header file names can be stdio.h, string.h, conio.h, and there are many more header files. Any program in C language starts its execution from the main function. The statements which you want to execute are placed inside a function called main. The syntax is as shown there. Main, open and close the braces, which indicates the main function. The program execution will be starting from here, and any instructions which you want to execute are placed within the flower braces. The double forward slash there represents the comments. Comments helps the programmer to understand the program. They are not the part of the execution. It doesn't matter if there is a comment or not on the execution of the program. That's all for this lecture. In the next lecture, we are going to discuss about input and output functions that are used in C language. Thank you. Meet you in the next lecture.